Now in this lecture we're going to talk about simplifying an expression that has radicals in it, but these radicals are in the denominator, all right, and they are part of a binomial, in other words a two-term expression in the denominator. And the way we do this is we use our understanding of when we multiply binomials that have a different sign but the same number, produces a difference of two squares. So we're really doing the difference of two squares in this case. So let's suppose we want to simplify, okay, by rationalizing the denominator. Alright, part A. Alright, let's suppose we have an expression such as the square root of 3 over the square root of 5 plus the square root of 3. Now the way we do this is we multiply it by the difference of these two terms, in other words this term here, and we must do the same to the top. Alright, and so we have the difference of two squares here. Alright, notice I have the square root of 5 by the square root of 5, which is the square root of 5 squared, of course. We have a minus root 3 root 5, if we FOIL this out, plus root 3 root 5. And then we have a minus root 3 by root 3, which is squared. And of course we have to do a distributive rule on the top. So we'd have the root 3 by root 5 minus root 3 by root 3, which of course is root 3 squared. So this now becomes the square root of 15 on the top minus 3, and on the bottom of course these ones cancel out and we have 5 subtract 3, so I end up with the square root of 15 minus 3 all over 2, and that is my simplified form. Right, let's try another one. Let's suppose that we have the square root of 7 minus 1 over 2 square root 7 plus 4 square root 2. Now again we look at doing the same thing here. So we're going to multiply by 2 root 7 minus 4 root 2, and we have to do that to the top as well. Alright, so at the top we're going to have to FOIL. Let's do the bottom part first, it's easier because we're not going to FOIL it out. We now know that all it really will be is 2 root 7 squared minus 4 root 2 squared. Okay, now if we now do the FOIL in the top here, this would be 2 by root 7 is 7. Okay, then we have root 7 by negative 4 root 2 is going to be negative 4 root 14. We're going to have minus 2 root 7, and then we're going to have plus 4 root 2 when we FOIL 1 by 4 root 2. Negative by negative is positive. So we end up with this being 14 minus 4 root 14, we can't simplify that any further, minus 2 root 7 plus 4 root 2. So we can't simplify that any further. Alright, and of course next what we'll need to do is look at the bottom part. So this will be now 4 by 7 here, minus 16 by 2. So again we have 14 minus 4 root 14 minus 2 root 7 plus 4 root 2 all over, now we have of course 28 minus 32. So this becomes, notice I have a factor of 2 all the way through here, so I'm going to take out a factor of 2. So I get 7 minus 2 root 14 minus root 7 plus 2 root 2, and on the bottom I have a negative 4. Okay, so we can divide through by 2's now. So we get 7 minus 2 root 14 minus root 7 plus 2 root 2. And this is all on negative 2. Of course, the negative shouldn't be in the bottom, so I'm going to change all the signs in the top. And so I'll have a negative 7 plus a 2 root 14 plus a root 7 minus a 2 root 2, and this will all be on 2. Right, and that's how we simplify that. One last one. Let's suppose we have p over the square root of p plus 2. Right, now again, this time we have to multiply the square root of p minus 2 over the square root of p minus 2. So we FOIL in the top, so that'll be p by the square root of p minus 2p in the top part. And now we have to do the square root of p squared minus 2 squared. So this becomes p square root p minus 2p. And on the bottom we'll have p minus 4. Okay, so that's how we do this. We could take out a common factor of p here and keep it just as the square root of p minus 2 over p minus 4 if we want it in factored form. And that's how we do rationalizing of a binomial denominator.